Welcome back to Blackacre Ranch, everybody. My name's Jeff. So as you've known, if you've been following this channel, I've been using my E12 rotary mower here to cut down some pasture, and I think I need to kind of give an update with it. A couple weeks or months back, actually, we broke the collar on it. Things went south, and I broke it again after getting it back. I've broken it three times more. So I'm going to kind of give a little bit of an update on this sucker and kind of, I don't know, some of my thoughts about it. I love it, but there's some things I just really can't stand about it. So anyway, stick with this. I'm going to talk a little bit about this E12 and then finalize some clearing out of some stuff on the pasture that we just mowed and kind of wrap that up for today, all right? All right, guys, the E12 rotary cutter, the batwing, if you want to call it, from John Deere. Mine's an E12, so it means it's 12-foot width, and it's pulled like a trailer behind the mower, okay? Now, my love affair with this and my hatred has started from the beginning. Originally, this goalpost thing, which holds the drive line, when it stopped, was bent, and it didn't even work when they dropped it off, and I couldn't figure out how, and they're like, oh, my bad. So stuff like that. Second part was they never even leveled the back end of the batwing. So one side was more laid down, the other one was more up. And so just stuff like that is just annoying. Now, it's not necessarily an indicator of what really do I think of the E12, okay? That's just more dealership crap. The E12 has been a beast. I've been taking out some serious crap, and I've got acres that I mow, and it's all here at the ranch. Now, a lot of it's overgrown, and I'm taking down some stuff that maybe it shouldn't, maybe it should, I don't know. But I'm definitely putting it through its paces. So, as I was telling you before, I broke it twice. The coupling up here, I broke, and then I had busted where the jack goes. I had bent that in, and so I couldn't use the jack. Well, so I've been using it, as you know, to clear out pasture 4, and this is kind of the stuff I've done to it. This wind is killer, man. This thing's like seriously blowing. Since it's towed behind the tractor, there's a safety chain, all right? We use a pin connection. It's like this yoke and clevis kind of thing, and the pin goes down. Well, the safety chain had a hook on it with a spring that would close it and open to allow me to lash back on to the chain, okay? I bent that, and so then it wouldn't work, and it wouldn't open very well. So it wouldn't close, it ripped it open. So I got that working, no big deal. I just tried and jimmy rigged it fine. Towing the mower, I felt this big jerk, kind of like a boom, and then nothing else. Well, that's the end of my safety chain now. So at some point when I was mowing, I ripped off the end of my chain. So I've got to figure out what to do about that and try and connect some stuff up and see if I can get this to work. My personal thought is it was way too long to begin with, and it would drag down, and it probably got snagged on something and just cranked it off. Even though, you know, even with that, I am surprised this chain would rip right off. I gotta go find it, actually. That was the second thing. Okay, number 3. This was with the jack stand. Now the jack stand sits between two bars that stick out, or these flanges, and the front one I had bent in a little bit. So therefore I couldn't put the jack stand in there, and I couldn't jack it up. So I've been using my car jack. This is the front one that I bent previously, and it went backwards. Now that makes sense, right? I'm driving forward 98% of the time. Maybe I hit something and it bent. Now it's pretty thick. I don't get this, but still it moved. All right, great. What the freak happened here, okay? I'm going forward all the time. I don't back up for anything. Half the time I turn, I don't even back up anyway. But I hit something, or something caused this to come in way too far. Now, the only thing I can think of as an explanation is when my chain ripped off. Maybe it was caught somehow on this. I don't know, something like that. And when it went, ow, it shoved that forward and dented it. So I have now officially lost all hope in actually getting the jack to get back in here. So I now, in the meantime, just use a post, and I use a car jack. But yeah, I would have thought these would have been a little bit more sturdy. I wouldn't have ever thought I would have ripped the chain off. I don't know, man. The mower's good. I like the mower. but I don't know, that kind of seems pretty cheap to me. That's my E12. Now, let me go show you what I've been going through, and maybe I'm abusing it, I don't know. All right, we're here in the valley of pasture 4, and this is the stuff that we've been doing and mowing, okay? This is more of a closer up look with it. This hadn't been mowed in about 2 years, and so what we've had is a lot of these pine trees, these guys, which are thinner than my pinky. I mean, they're not huge, but they're a lot at different places, okay? And they're all throughout it. The mower's not gonna have a hard time with those guys, all right? There is something that the mower is gonna have a hard time with, and that is the sweet gums, which seem to have grown up really, really big. So let's go check out that. This is a sample of like some sweet gums that are here, and they like to grow up next to these other pine trees. And so I've been going around these things with a mower. I hit a bunch of them, and it's not that bad. Now the mower can handle, I think, things up to like 2 to 3 inches, you know, if I hit something. And my philosophy is if I can push it with the mower and it goes down, I'm gonna mow it, okay? This is a group I did leave because I kind of started feeling bad for the mower at some point. But some of these are actually pretty good, all right? Now, I'm gonna go get one of these as a sample of, actually, maybe here's one in front of me. Now this is something that was dead, but this is an example of how big of something I mowed over, okay? It didn't go too bad. It kind of shredded up a little bit. All right, well, this is one I ran over. I can put my fingers around it. I have room, but it's about maybe only 2 inches, right? So I don't think that's unreasonable. Now, I think the catch comes is they say, you know, you can go over 2 to 3 inches maybe. That's great, but maybe not when you're going over 12 of them at the same time. So, but anyway, that's the stuff I've been going over. Otherwise it's grasses and dirt, but it's a lot of these pine trees and other grasses. And now that I've mowed everything down, the grasses in the pasture are actually starting to come back up. So, not so much here, but elsewhere it's showing more life, where it's not so shaded here. All right, so case in point, like those other guys, these are bigger sweet gums. I didn't touch those, but the other thing that I ran over was sheet metal, right? I don't know why sheet metal is everywhere. I don't get it. There's no building it blew off of that would have been over here. But you find sheet metal, and all of a sudden it just decides to wrap itself around some trees somehow, and it does whatever it does. But I did run over sheet metal over here, and this is why you shouldn't run over sheet metal. Because it decides to shred itself, and it gets all wanky and all weird. So we're gonna have to clean that up. There are some spots over here that I had also done that and gotten over all that sheet metal, but it stayed flat. But this one, it kind of went up and caught into a blade, and it took it around and just shredded it. So those are mainly the biggest obstacles besides big logs that were dead that I ran over. But otherwise, it's just these sweet gum trees and piling all this junk down and blowing through it. So I don't think it's unreasonable what I put the mower through, which is partly why I'm shocked that it looks as bad as it does. It looks beat. So this is the graveyard of some sweet gums, and I think this is a little bigger than 3 inches. But anyway, you can see the burn marks, and it took this sucker out. And this is the siblings and the mass carnage. But number of stumps. Okay, so maybe a few things were bigger than 3 inches, okay? But for the most part, it was not. But this is mass carnage, death. And you'll see these graveyards all over the place. Okay, now, like I said, I'm missing my chain. I want to go find my chain. I need to go find that chain and see if I can see it somewhere over here. So, I'm trying to find this chain. gotta be around here somewhere. It can't be that hard to find. Maybe it is. I don't know. All right. I have noticed we do have grasses, so I wanted to show you the grasses. Now this isn't maybe the most beautiful grass, but it is winter grass and it is starting to grow. So you can see it behind me. So we do have grass. We're thinking positive, guys. Not everything's grass. I get it. If it's vegetation, I typically call it grass, but it is not all grass. But this has green grass and it's winter grass. And you can tell it's a pretty good mat. So it's got a lot of summer and winter grass in it. It's matted down. So now that we've mowed it, it should be springing back up. I think I need to amend my first statement when I said I didn't go over anything that big. So as I'm searching for this chain, this is the graveyard of sweet gum trees, one of them that I went through. And these suckers are all pretty stout. They're probably all about that big. I've got some pretty big hands. And this is it. You know, there's stumps everywhere. So this is the mass carnage that I laid. I mean, it didn't even chop them up, it laid them down and it just kind of buried them in the ground. So all over the place, you see all of these remnants of death and bodies and carnage all the way over to our left side, where these are actually pretty big stumps. So this guy was a horizontal, he came over to here, and so yeah, I kind of went through some of these. Like I said, maybe not a dozen at a time, but 2 or 3 inches, one or so, isn't so bad. But yes, I did push it to the extreme. That's what the mower's for. And in time, it'll biodegrade, who cares? But where's this friggin' chain? That's what I want to know. I hate to admit to defeat, but I haven't found the chain yet. And so I'm tired of looking for now. I want to get busy doing something, so let's chainsaw something. So this tree it's losing all of its bark, it's dead. And it's a wobbler. I'm not sure if today's the day I want to take it down with all the wind and everything. Here at the base is these sweet gums, and these were some of the thicker ones I didn't take down from the mower. So I'm just going to chainsaw those suckers up just at the base, leave them here, and I'll have my kids and my wife come over and clean them up a little bit later on sometime. But I want to cut down some of this extra junk so that way it doesn't grow too big and then it's really bad. I just want to clear it all down to the base of the trees, except that tree. I want to cut that tree down eventually, but not on a windy day. All right, now we just gotta do that like 50 more times, right? Around all these other trees. Some of them like over there by that tin that I showed you earlier. Gotta do that to that. This other green stuff is kind of bushy. And that can just be done with a weed whacker. We have a metal blade on it. So it'll take care of small brush and stuff. That'd be perfect for it. I'm not gonna use a chainsaw on it, but we're gonna keep making piles like this and clear it out and eventually let the grass grow back. All these other sticks, pine trees, hopefully will decay over time. There is stuff you can put on them to help them decay, but there's millions of them down here, man. I'm not doing that. So hopefully in time they just kind of go away. We'll see. I don't know, maybe not. If you have suggestions on how to do that, let me know, but otherwise I'm leaving them, and hopefully over time it just works out well. So all right, let's go just check the buffalo and see where they're at right now, and then get a drink. So it's a pretty chill day. They are working oh so hard. Most of them are doing absolutely nothing. In fact, aha, Ahmed and Bartok over here. So anyway, I wish you guys could smell it. You can smell manure, you can see the flies. That's typical ranch life. We have been having them in this spot for a long time, and there's a lot of manure over in that pasture. Normally we're going to be rotating these guys around in the winter when things kind of go dormant, and since the grass wasn't growing, we consolidated them in one spot, so that way we only damaged one area of soil and didn't do it on all the others. But there's a lot of poo-poo, and once we do move them, I will probably go in with a rake or something and try and smooth all that out. But yeah, otherwise they're just chilling, guys. That's just what buffalo do. Today's not the day we're going to cube them. We only do that twice a week. So we're actually going to leave them be, let them chill. They're obviously not coming up to us looking for cubes. They did see the truck. It's all good. We're going to let them relax. Sun's going down. Remember, I do like the E12. I put it through its paces, and I really ran that thing probably through stuff it maybe shouldn't have gone. But on the other hand, I'm kind of surprised how dinged up it's gotten. So split emotions on this. I think it's a great mower otherwise. So I wouldn't hesitate getting one again. I just got to find a way to stop breaking it every time I seem to mow. So anyway, keep with us, guys. In the next few episodes sometime soon, we've got another big project we got to get going and working on. And I get to use my first experience, I guess I should say, with earth moving equipment besides tractors. So anyway, keep with us. We appreciate you joining along. We wish you a very Merry Christmas. Hope you have a great holiday and a great New Year as well. All right, talk to you guys later. Bye.